It was a summoned creature that the whole world considered worthless, but the moment I truly understood it, I was so overwhelmed with joy that I hugged it tightly. Seeing this, my classmates started laughing at me. They mocked me, calling me a genius in a sarcastic way. Even my homeroom teacher, who had high expectations of me, shouted angrily, saying I had betrayed everything he had taught me. I simply smiled faintly and said nothing. Instead, I sold all my belongings to buy 50 kilograms of mutant monster meat because I wanted to activate the hidden talent of this small black dog. At that moment, I gently patted its head, and suddenly a contract notification echoed in my mind. Loyalty level will never betray you. Establish a vital link. Without hesitation, I accepted the link. In that instant, a terrifying pain tore through my soul. I collapsed to the ground, screaming in agony. My classmates thought I couldn't handle the shock and laughed even more. My girlfriend, Lorient, the most beautiful girl in school, walked up to me. With a slightly guilty expression, she said, "Sorry, the national exam is our only chance to change our social status. Just now, Lu Liang, a Lancer Knight, agreed to team up with me, so I can't team up with you anymore." I stood up and replied calmly, "No problem." She was stunned by how cold and simple my response was. The explanation she had prepared got stuck in her throat. It felt to her like I didn't care at all. She sighed, turned around, and left without looking back. The girl beside her looked at me with disgust and said, "He's just pretending not to care. Lorient, you did nothing wrong. Why are you apologizing? He can only summon a palm-sized black dog. How could he ever be worth of you?" But I didn't pay attention to any of them, because after forming the vital link, I realized something. Shocking, this little dog had awakened an SSS rank talent. Abyssal Devour. It could convert anything it ate into energy and ignore all limits to evolve. My pain wasn't wasted. Across the entire empire, SSS rank talents could be counted on one hand. Anyone with such talent would be treated as a national treasure. I picked up the small black dog and said, "From today on, your name is Eamon." Eamon happily licked its lips. I fed it a steak, and in the blink of an eye, it devoured everything. Ordinary meat digested. Purification value plus 0.5. Its body grew slightly bigger, and all its base stats increased by 1 point. And that was just from a simple piece of meat. If it kept eating, how terrifying would it become? My heart started racing. Even more shocking, my own strength had increased slightly too. It seemed my special ability allowed me to share the energy Eamon gained. Without hesitation, I spent over 6,000 to buy 50 kilograms of mutant meat. As soon as I summoned Eamon again, it rushed toward the meat like a starving beast, devouring everything in madness. As it ate, its body rapidly grew stronger. Half an hour later, Eamon had grown over 2 meters tall. My own stats had increased by 10 points. This growth was almost like cheating. Without hesitation, I activated the system's evolution option. A terrifying force erupted from within Eamon. "Congratulations! Your summoned creature has obtained a new skill, Rend. Congratulations! Your summoned creature has awakened a new talent, Gigantism." Its size increased massively. Strength and defense increased by 300%, but speed decreased by 50%. Even at level 1, its stats exceeded 50 points. No high-level summoned creature could match it. The next day, the national exam began. Students gathered in a massive square, preparing to enter dangerous dungeons. This year, competition was intense, with top schools participating. Some mocked me again, telling me to give up before embarrassing myself. I ignored them completely. When the gates opened, a cold and terrifying aura poured out from inside the dungeon. Without hesitation, I chose to enter solo. Inside, I quickly encountered monsters. A giant worm-like creature lunged at me. In an instant, a staff appeared in my hand. A flash of white light pierced the monster, slicing it in half. "You killed a toxic worm. Plus 5 EXP. Score plus 15. Outside, everyone was shocked. How is he this fast? Soon, I encountered a group of goblins, around 50 to 60 of them. Facing them alone would mean certain death, so I summoned Eamon. With a thunderous roar, Eamon appeared, now a massive, wolf-like beast. It charged forward like a cannon, crushing skulls and tearing through enemies. Bones shattered against its body, unable to harm it. The goblins, terrified, tried to flee. I said coldly, "Now that you're here, none of you will escape." Together, we slaughtered them all. Outside, everyone was stunned. Is this really the same guy? As the battle continued, I grew stronger, leveling up rapidly. Soon, I discovered a goblin nest. This time, the enemies were stronger. Fire goblins, ice goblins, and their leader. Fireballs rained toward me. I dodged swiftly, using the goblins themselves as shields and weapons, throwing them like projectiles. The battlefield turned into chaos. Even the teachers were shocked. I never taught him this. Meanwhile, Eamon attacked from behind, finishing off enemies one by one. Soon, only a few goblins remained. Instead of killing them immediately, I followed them to their base. Inside a cave, more enemies appeared. Eamon activated its talent. Its body grew even larger, crushing enemies under its feet. Then suddenly, a massive figure emerged from the darkness. A terrifying creature with enormous muscles and a monstrous presence. A troll. It charged forward, shaking the entire cave. Eamon didn't hesitate and attacked head-on. Its claws struck the troll, leaving deep wounds, but not enough.
The troll grabbed Eamon and smashed it into the ground. Blood spilled from Eamon's mouth as it let out a painful cry. Eamon crashed into the ground, blood spilling from its mouth as it let out a painful growl. For the first time, I felt a sharp sting in my chest. Not fear, but anger. The troll roared and raised its massive fist, preparing to crush Eamon completely. "Get up, Eamon!" I shouted. At that moment, something changed. Eamon's eyes, which had been dimmed by pain, suddenly glowed with a deep, terrifying light. A dark aura began to spread from its body. Talent activated, Abyssal Devour Overdrive mode. The air around us grew heavy. The troll hesitated for a split second, but that was enough. Eamon's body expanded again, muscles bulging, its claws shining with black energy. With a deafening roar, it broke free from the troll's grip and leapt forward. This time, its attack was different. Faster, stronger, deadlier. Its claws tore deep into the troll's chest, ripping through flesh and bone. The troll roared in pain and swung wildly, but Eamon moved like a shadow, dodging every strike. I didn't stand still either. Gripping my weapon, I dashed forward and targeted the troll's weak points, its joints, its eyes, its neck. We fought together, perfectly in sync. The troll staggered. Then, with one final roar, Eamon lunged forward and tore its throat apart. The massive body collapsed to the ground with a thunderous crash. Silence filled the cave. You have defeated a cave troll. Plus 200 EXP. Score plus 500. A bright light surrounded us as I leveled up again. Outside the dungeon, the entire audience had fallen silent. Then, an explosion of voices. Incredible! He defeated a troll? Is he really from our school? Even the teachers were stunned beyond words. I slowly walked toward Eamon. Its massive body shrank back to a more manageable size, though it was still far larger than before. It looked at me, its fierce expression softening slightly. I placed my hand on its head.
You did well. Eamon let out a low, satisfied sound. At that moment, I realized something important. This wasn't just a summoned creature anymore. It was my partner. After leaving the cave, I continued deeper into the dungeon, defeating every monster in my path. My score kept rising. 600, 800, 1,000. Eventually, I surpassed even the top student, Selikus, who had been leading by a huge margin. The ranking board outside changed. Rank 1, Chen Lin, 1,200 points. The entire arena erupted. No way! He's first? When did that happen? Loriant stood frozen, staring at the screen in disbelief. That can't be. The boy she had abandoned had become the strongest. When the exam finally ended, I walked out of the dungeon calmly, Eamon by my side. All eyes were on me. The same people who had mocked me now looked at me with shock, fear, and even admiration. My teacher stepped forward, his voice trembling slightly. "Chen Lin, what have you become?" I simply replied, "Someone who won't be looked down on anymore." Loriant approached me slowly. Her expression was complicated regret, shock, and something else. I made a mistake," she said quietly. "I didn't know you were—" I interrupted her. "It doesn't matter." My voice was calm but firm. "The moment you chose someone else, we were already over." She lowered her head, unable to speak. As I walked away, I looked ahead at the future waiting for me. The academy, stronger enemies, greater challenges. And beside me, Eamon, the SS rank creature that could devour everything. I smiled slightly. This is just the beginning. Eamon let out a low, excited growl, as if agreeing. Together, we stepped forward, into a world that would soon learn to fear our name. Like, share, and subscribe for more interesting stories.